Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into breathing meditation.
Oh, very cool.
It's something that we've been hearing more and more about these days.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's trying it.
For sure.
And, you know, it's pretty fascinating that for this one, we're tapping into wisdom that comes straight out a monastery in Sri Lanka.
Wow.
You know, centuries-old practices that are still relevant in our modern world.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing how these practices have stood the test of time, you know.
Absolutely.
In our fast-paced world, people are still, seeking out
Yeah.
these ancient traditions and finding real benefits.
I think it speaks to just how effective they are.
Yeah, for sure.
So the source material that we have for this one refers to this practice as anapanasati.
Okay.
Now, anapana means inhale and exhale,
Gotcha.
and sati means mindfulness.
Right.
So basically, we're talking about, being mindful of your breath.
Yeah.
But before we get into the how-to, I'm curious,
Mm-hmm.
what's the end goal here? Are we trying to achieve some kind of trance-like state?
That's actually a pretty common misconception.
Right.
The initial goal of anapanasati is much simpler.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a sense of calmness and peace.
Okay.
Just approaching the practice with that gentle intention can make a big difference.
I like that.
Yeah.
So the video that we have for this deep dive uses this really striking image.
Oh, yeah.
Talks about, feeling the air at the tip of your nose,
Right,
almost
yeah.
like it's this focal point.
Yeah, it's a really tangible sensation to focus your attention on,
Yeah,
especially for beginners.
right.
The video talks about this technique of intentional breathing.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that?
I've dabbled in meditation a bit, but I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Gotcha.
Could you break down what intentional breathing actually looks like?
Yeah.
What am I actually doing?
So basically, when you're starting out, it can be helpful to consciously control your breath,
Okay.
almost like setting a rhythm for yourself.
Okay.
And this heightened awareness of the physical sensations of breathing can really help you become more attuned to your breath in general. And then as you get more comfortable, you can transition to just observing your natural breath.
Okay.
See how it flows effortlessly.
Yeah.
Softly, gently.
So it's about easing into it,
Exactly.
not like forcing control right from the start.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, and maybe it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
My mind tends to wander during meditation.
Oh, yeah.
Any advice for our listeners out there on how to wrangle those stray thoughts?
First and foremost,
Yep.
understand that a wandering mind is totally normal.
Okay.
It's just the nature of the mind to be active.
Right.
The key is to not get frustrated with yourself
Oh.
when you notice your mind drifting.
Mm.
Just acknowledge it without judgment, and then gently guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath.
So it's not about emptying the mind completely like some people
yeah.
imagine.
Exactly.
It's more about redirection.
Yeah. Just gently and patiently, bringing it back to the breath.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So breathing meditation, it's not about suppressing thoughts.
Right.
It's about cultivating awareness of them.
Exactly. And with practice, you'll become more adept at just observing those thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a real practice in patience.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of patience,
Mm-hmm.
the video really emphasizes this idea of not forcing the practice.
Right.
Can you elaborate on what that means?
Yeah, so it's about approaching meditation with a sense of self-compassion.
Okay.
Like when your mind wanders, and it will,
Yeah.
don't beat yourself up about it.
Okay.
Just acknowledge it and gently redirect your attention back to your breath.
Well,
It's a process
yeah.
of cultivating a patient and accepting attitude towards your own mind.
We're so used to pushing and striving for things.
Right.
But here it sounds like the key is to let go.
Exactly.
Almost counterintuitive.
Yeah, it can feel that way at first, but it's often in that letting go that we find the greatest insights.
Mm.
You're not trying to stop thoughts altogether.
Right.
You're just becoming more aware of them and gently guiding your focus back to your breath.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a subtle but profound shift.
So it's about observation,
Mm-hmm.
not control.
Yeah.
And the video seems to really underscore the importance of consistency.
Oh, for sure. Consistency is crucial.
Yeah.
But it's also important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to meditation. It's a personal journey, and it's about finding what works best for you.
So as someone who's really, delved into this practice,
Yeah.
what are some of the benefits that stand out to you?
Well, one of the most significant benefits for me is an increased sense of self-awareness.
Right.
By paying attention to my breath, I become more attuned to my thoughts, my emotions, and even my physical sensations.
Hmm.
And this heightened awareness allows me to respond to situations with more clarity and composure
Yeah.
rather than just reacting.
It's like you're creating a space between stimulus and response.
Exactly. That space gives you the freedom to choose how you want to respond rather than just reacting automatically.
So breathing meditation is almost like a training ground for mindfulness in everyday life.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
By practicing mindfulness in this kind of structured setting,
Right.
you develop the skills to be more present and mindful throughout your day,
Okay.
whether you're at work or with family or just enjoying a quiet moment to yourself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that kind of circles back to the video's message about cultivating calmness and peacefulness.
Right.
It's not just about feeling relaxed during meditation.
Hmm.
It's about carrying that sense of serenity with you throughout your day.
Exactly. It's about finding that inner stillness amidst the chaos of life.
Wow.
That ability to access a sense of peace no matter what's happening around you is incredibly empowering.
It sounds like it's really all about creating a sense of balance.
Yeah, balance is a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
Breathing meditation helps us cultivate a sense of equilibrium
Well,
between our inner and outer worlds.
Hmm.
It's about being present in the moment, accepting what is, and responding with clarity and wisdom.
it's remarkable how something as simple as paying attention to your breath can have such a profound effect on your well-being.
I know, it's truly remarkable. And what's
Yeah.
even more remarkable is that it's accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Wow.
You don't need any special equipment or a fancy studio,
Yeah.
just your breath.
It really is amazing how accessible it is.
It is.
Okay, so let's recap our deep dive into breathing meditation.
Okay, sounds good.
We explored the concept of anapanasati, which translates to mindfulness of breathing.
Right.
And it's all about, tuning into your breath,
Yeah.
particularly focusing on the sensation at the tip of your nose. We talked about starting with intentional breathing, where you're consciously controlling those inhales and exhales,
Right.
and transitioning to just observing your natural breath.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about the importance of approaching the practice with a gentle, compassionate mindset.
Absolutely.
Remember, it's not about forcing anything.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating awareness, patience, and acceptance
Mhm.
towards your breath and towards your inevitably wandering mind.
Right, because it's going to happen.
Yeah,
It's totally natural,
totally.
but we can bring it back.
Exactly. And through that process, we kind of unlock these incredible benefits.
Oh, yeah.
A sense of calmness, inner peace, and a heightened self-awareness
Mhm.
that can really positively impact all areas of our lives.
Yeah, it can really make a difference.
So for our listener who might be feeling inspired but unsure where to begin,
Mm-hmm.
what's one simple step they can take today to experience this for themselves?
I would suggest finding a quiet spot where you can sit comfortably for just a few minutes. Close your eyes and simply bring your attention to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest or belly, the gentle flow of air in and out of your nostrils.
Yeah.
And when your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, just gently guide it back to your breath.
Beautiful. And you know what that sounds like?
What's that?
A mini vacation for the mind.
Yes, absolutely.
So to wrap up, I'm left pondering this. How might incorporating even a few minutes of this practice into your day change things for you?
That's a great question.
Something to consider as you go about your day.
Yeah, I love that.
And that concludes our deep dive into the transformative world of breathing meditation.